Hi, I'm Anime World. This is my recap for the anime Under Ninja. If you like my recap, please consider subscribing. The story begins with the city in turmoil. A group of military soldiers spend too much time checking an alleyway and then cautiously check a building, but stop when they find several bombs with the body attached to them. They quickly realize that it's no longer a threat, since it's pretty obvious that part of the guy's head was cut off, along with the finger needed to press the bomb's detonator. The leader of the group is clearly the genius among them, as he points out that it had to have been done with the sword. A piece of origami hints at it being a ninja, and one of the soldiers tells his group should be thanking God that they didn't run into the ninja themselves self-transferred. He stops himself as he realizes that someone else should make the call, and goes to find the only woman in his entire apartment complex, named Kawato. Unfortunately, she's in the restroom, delivering a package of her own, and needs Carl's help getting some toilet paper that apparently she can't get herself. She talks major trash about the person that designed their building, which makes Carl realize that she is probably drunk. He has no one else to ask for help though, and does what he needs to do, but the lazy toilet sitter warns him not to look or she will kill him. Kuro suits up for the extremely dangerous mission, as he states that he is a shinobi, and he makes the impossible possible. He then demonstrates his prowess as a ninja and triumphantly grabs the toilet paper, only to be punished for looking afterwards. Kawada calls the school to transfer Kuro, but he eventually has to take the phone and explains she is just a bit drunk. This actually helped create a more convincing family background, and Kuro compliments her amazing performance. Kuro then sneaks over to his shared refrigerator to reward Kawada with another drink. Kawada wonders where his real mother is, and he explains that, according to his father, she said, trouble after he was born, and she was gone, never to be seen again. His father, who apparently thought she was just going to milk, misheard what she said and accidentally named him Kuro. His unique name reminds him of a friend he had named Miracle. Kawada then breaks down into uncontrollable laughter at the irony when Kuro explains that Miracle died in a lightning strike. He tries to tell her that it's actually pretty sad, but she can't control herself and only laughs harder when Kuro reveals that he's 17 years old, since he looks 40. The two hang out for a bit, and Crow shows off his elite-level athleticism in the cigarette straw toothpick game. Later, Crow puts the unconscious drunk in bed, but must instantly hide as his missing roommate returns. His roommate is on cloud 9 after having a good day. The Crow doesn't want him to find out that he drank all his beer. The roommate becomes furious when he finds out, but Crow's nowhere to be found. The next day, it seems like the Tooth Fairy never showed up, as roommate is cranky and confronts Kawada after finding his marked beer cans in her room. She denies everything, and we see that was Krill still hiding under his room. Back to the present, Krill confronts the leader of the Oompa Loompas, who descends from building. Elsewhere, the delivery man is told that the upper brass want to deal with the Mhos that just 2 months ago Krill was enjoying the comforts of his floor. With unparalleled focus, our protagonist challenges himself with cigarette toothpick game of great importance. But within minutes, he realizes that he's just really bored. Just then, a delivery man wearing ridiculous-looking glasses enters, causing Crew to seek shelter in the corner of his room. The delivering man takes a seat with posture so perfect he makes rulers look crooked, but Curl can't stop thinking how he couldn't sense this man at all, and the term is that he must be a ninja. Mr. FedEx for Eyes requests a drink, but Crew must embarrassingly admit that he has to share a fridge with the person next door. The man was just messing with him anyway, and he explains why he is there. Lately, so many non-Korean ninja had been failing to get any jobs that there had been rumors of some making a break for it, so they had been making the rounds to check on them. Kuro, scared out of his mind, states that he would never consider running away. All he needs is a job. Then he will abandon lazy tendencies, and he'll work his butt off. Mr. Never Slouch says that it's not really a big deal how many of them run away, but rules are rules. So he reminds Kuro that any attempt to escape will get him erased. He is also there to give Kuro a job. Kuro wonders what it is, but remembers that he's supposed to figure himself, and the man rudely points out how far Kuro's family's clan has fallen off. Just then, one of toothpick cigarettes begins to fall, but the man's gigantic glasses fail him, and he mistakes Curl's movement for an attack aimed at his eyes. Curl points out that he was just trying to get, and the man compliments his aim. When he leaves, Curl opens the box to find what looks like a uniform and a hoodie. Curl determines that he's supposed to infiltrate a school and makes a call to have him. Elsewhere, a few people meet up, and a guy named Hibi welcomes the others. The one named Kuru is told that he hasn't been around in some time, and it's probably because he is good at escaping and staying hidden. Kuro, surprised to see that Hibi's burns from a lightning strike have healed, but Hibi explains that he's just covering it up with makeup. Hibi is clearly upset though, as he reminds Kuro that his scars won't heal until he takes him down. Kuro isn't listening though, as he's too busy adjusting his underwear and accidentally stepping on gum. Kuro notices that the girl in the group has been staring at him and asks for her name. She explains that she has several ninja handles, but her real name is Suzuki. Kuro's disappointed to see that they asked him to come to the roof, which is super visible, and he wonders if they are all stupid. Kuro explains that a sniper easily take them all out, and he would rather be relaxing at home than getting his head blown off. Hibi is disappointed, since he has always wanted to gather the team like this. But the final member, named Hakiha, points out that their enemy has assembled as well. A closer look at the top of another building reveals a group of girls who look like they fell asleep in tanning beds. Hachiya, who wields a stuffed animal, explains that they are from the Ministry of Labor and Welfare's Rear Support Maneuvers Division 2. They're strangely called the Rear Enders. Hachi is worried, since the three Oompa Loompas are clearly coming after them, so Hibi announces that he will make the first move. Kuro asserts his dominance as the protagonist and tells Hibi to stop acting like he's inside of a manga. He asks the others who is the strongest in their team, but no one answers, and Kuro reminds them that results are all that matter. With Shinobi, Kuro beat the last powerful opponent, known as the Foreigner, so he declares that he is the strongest. No one objects, and Kuro simply states if he takes out the enemy's strongest then it'll all be over. Hakiha points at the girls, who look like they just escaped Willy Chocolate Wonka's factory, and states that he thinks the one biggest is the strongest. Kuro corrects him by pointing out how you can usually count on the biggest being number 2. He points at the smaller masked one, the only one that doesn't have radiating skin, a glow that could rival the Thousand Suns, stating that she must be number 1 and she'll probably have some kind of ultimate like form. Frieza. Kuro uses a different language to tell Hachiya to point a laser pointer at her arm when he gives the signal, and he heads out. Kuro makes his way down and wonders how his life got to this point. A look into the past shows Rear Enders. He wasn't told sooner, partly because he doesn't apprentices. He wonders why someone named Oni Kobe couldn't take care of it, and is told that Oni Kobe is practically a serial killer that is too dangerous to let into the country. More importantly, out of the Fort Gannon they sent into Koden High School, 3 were taught personally by Chunin like themselves. However, one named has no record to speak of. The other man checked Curl file to see what he's done before, but only found that he spends his lazing about his rundown apartment. The man wonders if the delivery is sure about Kuro, and he points out that Kuro was the one that took the down man known as the Foreigner. Back to the past, we see that the man known as Foreigner has arrived at an airport, and he asks a seemingly disgruntled employee where he could find a ninja. The Foreigner can hardly understand the language, but a surprise when Captain hates his job tells him there is a ninja right behind him. The Foreigner desperately searches behind him, so the employee must tell to stop his sword around. The Foreigner explains that it's just an umbrella, and the employee tells him about a Japanese saying, throw a stone and you'll hit a ninja. It means there are so many ninja around, you can throw a rock at random and hit one. The Foreigner gets flustered again, but the employee explains that there's more to that, saying it goes, throw a stone and you'll hit a ninja, but you won't know who it hit. They're everywhere, and nobody knows. He explains that how ninja are, and he won't find any ninja in Japan who actually look like a ninja the way he does. We then learn a bit about what's going on in this crazy world after a war. Upon arriving in Japan, a group called the Allied General Headquarters issued special order 1 demanding the Imperial forces to provide the roster of affiliated ninja along with their surrender. Securing the Japanese ninja, who had the most consistent threat the course of the war, was considered to be crucial in the US establishing their superpower position. Post-war, in fact, during his station in Japan, a US general had come under attack by ninja, only for the situation to be resolved by a faction of pro-American ninja. Ultimately, the majority of ninja organizations were dissolved by the GUC, but in the 7 decades following the war, the world entered an era of religious and ethnic wars, as well as terrorism. The ninja thought to be extinct would demonstrate their abilities the front line of these conflicts, performing assassination and sabotage missions in absolute secrecy, and these numerous ninja have infiltrated the majority of Japan's public and private institutions, where they monitor the people in secret. The ninja had survived. They still exist in Japan to this day, and they are rumored to 200,000. Thanks for watching part 1 of this recap. Subscribe and notification bell for future parts.